She got a body like a goddess, and she talks so sweet. It's like I can't believe I'm the one that she wanted. And if I'm really being honest, I know I could be everything.
Jungkook, we have got on the target. They are holed up in this warehouse. Amidst of the calls of gunfire and shots ringing out all around them, Yoongi's voice came through loud and clear in Jungkook's earpiece. With a nod to Yoongi when he spotted him hidden back behind the car, Jungkook signaled to his team to move forward. They had no time to waste. They finally get their hand on enemy hidden stronghold. Cleared the entrance, Jungkook, we have got your back. Yoongi's voice crackled through the earpiece again and Jungkook began to open fire as they shot the hidden enemies. All clear, one more laugh. We are entering inside. Jungkook and others stormed towards the final room. With a final kick, Jungkook shuttered the door. They burst into the room, weapons and the... But it was all silent. Jungkook's sharp eyes scanned the room, taking in the lifeless bodies. Each one of them were tied up with ropes, confirming that this was indeed the place where hostages were held. Search every inch of this place. There may be survivors hiding or clues to what happened here, and be prepared for anything. As he put the gun back in his belt, his ear caught a faint whimper, so soft it could have been easily missed in the ear silence. Slowly he approached a corner of the room, his gaze searching for any signs of life. And then he saw a girl covered in blood and her claws torn in many places. Jungkook knelt beside her as he took in the girl's condition. He checked her pulse, feeling the faint beats against his fingertips. She was alive, but just barely. Jungkook removed the blindfold from her eyes, revealing a face that looked far too young to be involved in this violent world. Her lips twitched, but her eyes remained closed, as if she was in a deep state of shock or unconsciousness. Jungkook freed her from the ropes that bound her hands and feet and picked her in his arms, carefully. As he did so, Namjoon approached. Who is she? Jungkook's gaze remained fixed on the girl in his arms as he replied, I don't know, but she is still alive. When will she wake up? It's been 2 days. Jungkook asked, leaning against the wall, his eyes fixed on the small girl laying on the bed covered in a warm blanket. According to her body condition, she must have gone through without food for days. Her mind seems to be in a state of numbness. Maybe she witnessed things she shouldn't have, and she's quite young, perhaps 14 or 15. I've given her an injection. She will get better with time. Jungkook nodded his head with another voice interrupted them. I checked her background. She's not threat, just a little well. Jungkook remained expressionless as he nodded. What do you plan on doing with her? Jungkook sighed, absent-mindedly played with his finger on his finger as he replied, let her recover first. Maybe she knows something about her parents or her relatives, or we can contact. We will see about it once she is in better state. Alright, let her recover in peace. Don't create fuss here. They all nodded as they walked out of there, leaving the girl behind. Jungkook decided to check on the girl, a nagging feeling inside him urging him to see how she is. As he approached and turned on the knob and stepped inside, he found the bed empty, but he didn't panic. He scanned the room briefly before his eyes settled on the figure standing near the window gazing out. I see you have finally woken up. His voice cut through the silence and the girl flinched badly, her hand instinctively clutching the curtain as she turned around. Jungkook's face remained stone cold as he stared at the square before. Her heart was beating faster as she took in the figure in front of her who was taking a step towards her. Don't come near me, she stammered. Jungkook halted in his place, expression unreadable. He understood her fear, and a part of him softened at the sight of her trembling form. We won't harm you. His voice was firm as he took a step back, not making her uncomfortable more than she already was. The girl fleshed the curtain tighter, her voice trembling. Who are you? Where am I? I'm Jungkook. This is my place. You are safe for now. He spoke briefly, not offering much information. He didn't want to overwhelm her with details given her fragile state. She looked around confused and spoke again. What happened to those people who held me captive? They won't harm me anymore. A sigh escaped her lips, her shoulder relaxing as she sat down on the bed. Jungkook walked closer to her, standing directly in front of her. She instinctively backed away, her heart pounding once again. His unchanging expression left her feeling on edge, but she knew she had to calm down. What's your name? She stared at him for a moment before speaking. Her voice was low. Yun. So, Yun, can you tell me how you ended up here? We found you. Do you remember anything? Yun's hands clutched on the bed tightly, and Jungkook noticed her discomfort, so he changed the topic. Do you have any family or relatives we can contact for you? No, I don't have anyone left. She couldn't complete her sentence. She choked on her words. Jungkook placed his hand on her ear. You don't have to talk about it if you're not ready. He nodded, her eyes welling up in tears, and the memories of her parents' brutal murder in front of her eyes and how they kidnapped her, and just in 2 days they turned her life upside down, and all the torture she endured was still fresh in her mind, haunting her every waking moment. Do you want to come out for breakfast? She nodded again and wiped the tears. Something okay. First go and get clean. You will get everything you need inside. She nodded once and again. Thank you. She sniffed softly and Jungkook ruffles her hair. Wiping away her tears, she watched as Jungkook exited the room. Alone now, she took a moment to collect herself. Her mind is still haunted by the traumatic memories of the past few days. 3 years had passed since Yoon rescued from the traumatic place. From then, her life had completely changed for you. The people who had rescued her from the darkness had become her protector. They treated her with her warmth and care, embracing her as their own, and Yoon couldn't help but feel grateful for the love and support she had found among them. Please let me go this time, Yoon pleaded from the room, her voice pleading as she finally today found him in the living room going through files. You already know my answer, kid. Don't waste my time. All my friends are coming and they really want me to be there. You never let me go any parties. She powdered her disappointed admittance and she continued to stare at Jungkook. That's not fair. I'm going to be 18 in a few weeks, you know. At this age, girls go out, party, have fun all night, and here you are not letting me go. Jungkook finally looked up from his selfish gaze, meeting Yoon. Yoon gulped at his cold stare. I've told you before, it's not happening. His voice was strict. We're not going to any parties, you're still too young. Jungkook called said his voice was clear, but he ain't letting her go anywhere. Yoon pouted deepened as she crossed her arms. Stubborn? Yes, she is, just like Jungkook. But it's not fair. Life is not always fair, kid. You always treat me like a baby. I can take care of myself. I don't want to hear another word. Go to your room. Just as Jin was about to speak once more, Seokjun's voice interrupted. Why are you scolding my baby again? He said. Yoon pouted and fake tears in her eyes. Seokjun hugged her. He won't let me go anywhere he's mean. I will take you wherever you want to go. Just tell me. She wants to go drinking and clubbing, wants to have fun all night. Jungkook raised his eyebrows as he looked at Yoon. Drinking and clubbing has someone growing up, isn't she? He ruffled her hair and Yoon smiled, knowing that she would always indulge her. She glanced at Jungkook, who was still wearing his stern expression before turning back to Seokjun. Can you, Jin, please? Of course. No, she's not going anywhere. That's final. Jungkook heard Seokjun words, glaring at both of them, and they stayed quiet, knowing no one can go against his order. They walked side by side in the silence. Yoon glanced at Jungkook from time to time, observing his side profile, trying to read his expression. She could sense that he was absorbing her, more lenient with her. The weather turned cold, and her short, strapped dress that was beneath her knees offered little protection from the chill. She shivered as she wrapped her arms around herself, protecting to shield herself from the cold. Jungkook seemed to notice her discomfort and abruptly halted, causing Yoon to stop in her tracks. She looked up at him, confused. Without a word, Jungkook removed his coat and her heart began to race faster as he wrapped it over her shoulder. His finger brushed against her exposed shoulder, sending a flurry of butterfly fluttering in her stomach. It was a simple act of kindness, yet it made her heart even race faster. There was one secret that Yun kept locked away in the depth of her heart. Despite the familial bond she had with Group, she couldn't deny the growing feeling she had for Jungkook. The man who had rescued her always treated her like a family. She knew it felt too wrong because of their age gap, yet she couldn't help the way her heart chased whenever she was near him. It was silent, unspoken yearning that she had learned to keep hidden from him. Back to earth, Yun blushed fiercely, her cheeks heating up in embarrassment as she realized that Jungkook caught her staring at him. She looked down, unable to meet his gaze, and her heart raced even faster. Jungkook turned around and began to walk as she followed him quietly. I know I can be strict at times, he began, and Yun looked at his side profile as he spoke. But you have to understand that what I decide for you is best. The world you are living in is now different from the one you grew up in. I'm not your enemy, Yun. I want you to go out, have fun like any other girl your age, but there's a difference. Yun stayed quiet as he listened to him. It's really that he opened up to her and they talked for hours. Everything around us is dangerous. You will never know when your enemy will strike. I don't want you to ever face the darkness you have faced before. She couldn't help but feel touched by his words as she didn't forget that night the nightmare still haunts her, but not like before. I have watched you grow, become stronger over the years, but you are still young. There's so much you have not experienced yet. I want you to have those experiences, but I also want you to be cautious. Jungkook suddenly stopped and turned around. Yun kept looking down and Jungkook lifted her chin with his thumb. She met his gaze, her eyes reflecting love, affection for the man who had become her protector. You mean a lot to me, and you know that. I can't bear to see you hurt or in danger. Promise me that you will be always be careful. No matter where you go, I promise I will always be careful and come back to you safely. The last words, her voice was barely above a whisper. Jungkook continued to gaze at her, and she couldn't help but wonder if Jungkook felt the same way as she did. She wished she could read his mind to know if he was deeply in love as she was. His thumb gently caressed her chin before he slowly withdrew his hand and nodded his head. Let's head back. The unspoken motion still lingering in the cold night air as they walked back together. Jungkook sat on his bed, closing his eyes as he tried to clear his mind. Thoughts and emotions swirled within him as he took a deep breath to calm himself. He wanted to ask Hyun about her birthday plans since he's been too strict and distant too much lately. Remembered Seokjin words as he realized he shouldn't behave her like this. He wanted to do something for her. He wanted to see the smile on her face. Glancing at the clouds, he noted it was already 11 p.m. A sudden thought struck his mind. Was Hyun awake at this hour? His gaze fell on Hyun sleeping peacefully under the blanket. He walked towards her, saw a smile form on his lips as he stood by her side. Watching her slumber. Jungkook often checked on her. He might came as rude, but he can do anything to protect her. Just as he was about to turn around and leave, she suddenly grabbed his hand, making him halt. Jungkook looked down, noticing that she was mumbling something in her sleep. Her words were barely audible, but he could hear the fear and distress in her voice. Leave her alone, leave mom and dad, leave them alone. Jungkook's heart clenched, seeing her having a nightmare again. Yun, he called out her name gently, but her grip on his wrist tightened. Leave, don't kill them. No, mom, dad, please. She started to scream. Jungkook panicked. He sat down beside her, gently cupping her face. He could see the sweat forming on her forehead. Yun, wake up, he said softly. But instead of calming her, grip on his wrist grew painful as she began to apply more pressure. The metal chain on his wrist started to hurt his skin, but he ignored his own discomfort, knowing that she must hurt her more than anything. Jungkook continued to cup her cheeks and caress her hair, and then felt her grip on his wrist gradually loosening, the pressure on his skin lessening with each passing second. He could see the tension in her face begin to ease, and her breathing started to slow down. You are okay, princess. It's just a bad dream. He whispered, his eyes filled with warmth. You're safe now. Tears welled in her eyes as she realized it was nightmare. Without hesitation, Jungkook pulled her into a warm embrace as she began to sob uncontrollably. He held her tightly, offered her the comfort she needed in the moment. Yun clung to him, her tears soaking into his shirt, her body trembling terribly as if she let him go, the nightmare would still return. It was not the first time he had calmed her during a nightmare, and he knew that often struggled with the memories of her past. It's all right, Yun, you are safe. It was just a bad dream. I'm here for you. His hand soothingly rubbing her back as she cried. He whispered soft, reassuring words in her ears, trying to calm her down. You're not alone, okay? I won't let anything happen to you again. He could feel her heartbeat gradually slow down, her sobs turning into sniffs. After a while, Yun finally pulled back, her eyes still red and teary but no longer filled with fear. Feeling better, he asked softly, a caring smile on his lips, and she nodded softly, still sitting close to him. He wiped her tears with his thumb, her eyes slowly focusing on Jungkook's face, which was inches away from her. And at that moment, with their faces so close, their eyes locked together, but neither of them said a word about it. He thought her nightmare had ended, but it seemed like it still haunted her. Princess, he began softly. Why didn't you tell me that you were having nightmare again? She sniffled and stammered, her voice shaky. I I thought I could handle it on my own. Jing's expression softened as he kissed her cheeks tenderly. You know you don't have to go through it alone. I'm here for you always. Don't hesitate to wake me up. Call me when it happens again. He nodded her head as he was about to move away. She panicked, but he squeezed her hand, extending forward. He filled the glass of water and sat beside her again. As he made her drink the water, she stared at him and he smiled and pulled her closer to him once again. Princess, you are strong, he said, his gaze locked on hers. You have faced things that would almost break most of people, but you are here, you are safe. Don't let those memories haunt you. You have a family now, family who care about you. His finger brushed against her hair away from her face, and he gave her a gentle, reassuring smile. You can always talk to me if you're feeling scared or overwhelmed. I'll be here for you no matter what, okay? She wrapped her arms around him once more, and he didn't hesitate to encircle her with his strong, protective arm. He didn't say a word, knowing that sometimes all people need was a shoulder to cry on. Jacob was in his room, hurriedly getting ready for the day. He had a rough night, and sleep didn't come easy to him. As he picked up his shirt, the door abruptly swung open, and he turned to see Yun standing there, her eyes wide as she realized he was shirtless. Her gaze immediately dropped to the floor, and she began to stammer out an apology. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Wait, don't go. His voice stopped her before she could leave the room. Jungkook's lips curved into a faint smile as he watched her flutter reaction. He quickly finished few button his shirt and take a step closer to him. He walked over to Yoon, his presence making her heart even race faster. She tried to avoid looking directly at him, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. He gently lifts her chin with his finger, making her meet his eyes. How are you feeling now? Better. Thank you for staying with me. He smiled warmly. You don't need to thank me. He ruffled her hair, enjoying the way she reacted to his affectionate gesture. It was moments like these that made him realize that how much she meant to him, even if he couldn't fully express it. Cheeks grew warmer as her gaze involuntarily led me to Jungkook's chest. Most of the time, Yoon she cursed mentally. Is there anything you need? Yoon quickly averted her eyes and stammered in response, embarrassed. Breakfast is ready. Seungcheon asked me to call you. Jungkook nodded, taking a step back. He buttoned up his shirt and gave her a small smile. Okay, I'll be there. Jin was about to turn around when something caught her attention. She stood in front of him and Jungkook looked at her with a hint of confusion as she took his hand in hers, traced a red mark in his wrist. Is it because of me? It's nothing. But Hyun was not convinced as she stared at the mark. He sighed and gently pulled his hand away from her grasp. It's just a scratch, don't worry about it. Let's go for breakfast now. He turned, head out of the room, assuming that Hyun would follow him, but deep down he couldn't help but wonder about the complex emotions swirling with him. Swirling with him, emotions that involved much more than protecting her. June couldn't sleep, knowing that the nightmares might haunt her again, and she was worried for Jungkook too. He didn't come back home. Restlessness compelled her and leave her room, and when she stepped out, she saw a figure sitting alone in the garden, gazing up at the night sky. From the back, she recognized who it was. So he finally came back. She walked over to him and settled down beside him. Jungkook turned his head slightly to see Ian sitting beside him. He didn't say anything first, just continued to stare at the stars above. Yelled back, "Yeah, why still awake?" Ian shoved her eyes also fixed on the starry expanse above. Couldn't sleep. She replied honestly, "You missed the party. It's my birthday." "I know. Is everything okay? I needed some time alone." You nodded her head as they continued to sit under the starry sky. The silence between them was comforting. It was as if the words were not needed to convey what they both felt. After a while, Jungkook reached into his pocket and pulled out a small wrapped gift. "I know it's not too much, but I wanted to give you something. Consider it as an apology for not here for you for the birthday." Your eyes lit up with excitement as she carefully unwrapped it to reveal a delicate necklace with small star-shaped pendant. "Jungkook, it's so beautiful." "I know it's small, but it means a lot. You have already let me do so many things and made this birthday unforgettable." Jungkook's smile was warm and Yoon heart skipped a beat at his closeness, and she leaned in and placed a kiss on his cheek, catching him off guard. But he smiled in return and ruffled her ear. Yoon pulled back slightly and whispered softly, "Thank you for always being there for me." But before he could reply, she leaned in further, capturing his lips with hers. Jungkook froze in his place, his eyes widening in surprise. Jungkook wanted to respond, to explain why this is wrong, was wrong. He knew he couldn't encourage this, but her action had touched something deep within him. Jungkook was still. He could feel her love, desire in that kiss, and it both thrilled and terrified him. And he finally got the courage to pull away. "Yoon, stop. Why did you do that?" Yoon took a deep breath. "Because I love you, Jungkook." His expression shifted one from shock to disbelief as he took his hand. As he shook his hand. "This is wrong. You can't fall for me like this." Her heart sank at his words. Why can't I fall for you?" Jungkook ran a hand through his hair. "Yoon, I'm a lot older than you. You shouldn't think about me like that." Tears welled in her eyes as she continued to stare at him. "I can't help who I love, Jungkook. It's not something I can control, and it's not something I can just turn off." Jungkook could feel his heart itching as he looked at her tear-filled eyes. He knew that he was breaking her heart. He wanted to comfort her, but how could he comfort her when the reason behind her tears is him? "You're still young. You have your whole life ahead of you. You should be focusing on your dream, your future. There's so much you can achieve." Yoon hiccuped, her tears flowing non-stop. She afraid of this moment, the moment when she do confess her love and face rejection. "I know that, but it doesn't change that how I feel about you, and it doesn't change the fact that you mean everything to me." Jungkook sighed. He reached out and wiped the tears with his thumb. "I don't want to hurt you, princess, but I can't let you get hurt because of me. You need to forget this." He then handed her a set of papers. You look at him confused as she took the paper, her university admission, later for studies abroad. You look at him in disbelief, her heart sinking as she realization dawned. She shook her head, her first trembling. Why are you doing this with me? Because it was best for you. I told you whatever I will do will be best for you, and I don't want to hold you back. This is your chance to shine. Dawn couldn't hold back her tears any longer. She wrapped her arms around herself as if trying to physically hold the pieces of her breaking heart together. But what if it's best for me, you? Jungkook's heart clenched at her words. He wanted to sweep into her arms, telling her he felt the same way, but he knew he couldn't. Princess, you deserve someone who can give you love, someone you deserve, someone who can be with you without hesitation. I'm not that person, but I don't want anyone else. It's you, Jungkook. Jungkook leaned him gently, pressing a kiss on her forehead. I'll always be there for you. That's something I promise you. He shook her head, unable to accept the decision he was making for her life. But you are sending me away from you. This is necessary. You told me you'll always there for me. How? Who will be there for me when I get nightmares? Her voice was filled with desperation and sadness, wanting to stay with him, and Jungkook struggled to find the right words. I'll find someone to take care of you, to protect you, someone who can give you what you need. I can't be the one. I don't want someone else. I just want you. Don't do this with me. Don't send me away. I'm sorry. Jungkook held her close, his heart on breaking as he held on the decision. Even though it pained him to see her suffering, he wished that he could be different, but he couldn't let his own feelings overshadow. Even tears walked through his shirt, and her best birthday turned into the worst day of her life.